And good evening, Randomania. Welcome to the Legend of Zelda Randomizer Random Percent Tournament 2020 edition. We have game one of a round one matchup between AlmightyBobino and Kingdahl on tap for each for y'all tonight. Yes, we are dropping the puck as Kingdahl's name's referencing. Hi, everybody, I'm Leslie Crow, and I am joined tonight by Sausage Link. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you, Leslie?
Tonight's going well. Nice night to have a midweek match to get things going on another tournament. So, contrary to the previous time around with the random percent flags, and I still remember that tournament quite well to some degree at least. Amongst the changes is that there are some flags possible, and as we get underway, number of Triforces are randomized. We start with 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we still got to find 4. And we start off with the Power Bracelet and the Wooden Arrows. So yes, there is a chance. 2 items to start. Nothing immediately helpful, but we are seeing a screen wrap from Kingdahl. While Bobino's gonna not go for that, instead going for the White Sword Cave. Gotta watch out for these boulders. And it looks like Cave Shuffle is on because that is a take any.
It looks like Kingdahl's going for the immediate Armos item here, and I did not see what it was, but it looks like it was the red can.
Yes, indeed it was. So now Kingdahl does not have to worry about getting a fire source later in the seed. Whoa, we got 0 HP Lionels and secret. Well, that's a 1% chance to shuffle vanilla, so it's a pretty good chance that these secrets are gonna be vanilla here. As Bobino appears to have taken a Death Warp.
I'm sure Kingdahl has to be really relieved right now, only having the red candle to see the 0 hit point enemies. That is going to be huge for the seed, making combat much easier.
So easier for enemies that actually take damage from the red candle, or fire for that matter. And yes, there's a number of possibilities within this tournament, and one of them is, well, you could potentially have a mixed overworld.
That's right, and as of right now, it's still a little too early to tell if they're going to have any form of mixing. The start screen is a first quest only cave, so we know it's either first quest or mixed quest at this point.
That bomb was a little bit too far away from the forgotten spot. And I think that's why Kingdahl just did an up A retry to get that bomb back that inadvertently got wasted.
Yeah, this early in the game, you want to make sure to conserve any resources you can, and by doing that, that helps save a bomb that could be much needed once they find a level.
Oh, absolutely. Heard for another check on the overworld. Bobino taking a death in the overworld. And as our runner's high five, Kingdahl's heading for first quest level 1. Kingdahl getting a nice bomb drop.
And I couldn't tell for sure, but was that on a red Octorok or a blue one?
A blue, and did somebody say boomstick? Because the book is for sale.
Wow, 0 hit point enemies and the boom boom. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, is it ever? Our shop prices are vanilla, so your bombs are what you see is what you get.
And if people watching take a look at the tracker, we have a new icon in the tracker where the book is at. That is actually for if something is for sale. So pretty much it's only going to be used for the book this time around, but we now...
Now, here's where things get confusing. Bobino has found a dungeon. We don't know what it is, but based on the shape, that could be a second quest 3, potentially, I want to say. No, it's not 3, but oh boy, that's being forced right into the whiz rope firing squad. I don't think Bobino's getting much farther there, and that's a door repair.
Looking at the location for that one, I think that may have been second quest 2 that he...
And we got another dungeon find for Bobino. Maybe we can shed some light on where we're at.
I didn't see where Kingdahl went in, but it looks like he may have entered the same dungeon at the same time.
He's gonna check the other way, and he's gonna see that blue lagoon and immediately think otherwise of it. That dungeon's at the vanilla start screen. Now, I'm surprised Bobino did not take the heart penalty there to go into zombie mode just to get rid of the mugger room.
And from the look of it, that may have been second quest 7, as Darkfalls pointed out in chat. Starting that low and to the west, and then not being able to go up. We may have full second quest dungeons in this seed.
Ugh, that would be gross. And I already see a problem with these ending words. Yep. Big problem with the... Well, okay, that's better, but 2 of them on screens next to each other, not very good.
Oh wow, 3 right near start, and then 1 over by the Lost Hill.
And the white sword item is a heart container.
Although it's something you don't want to always see, it's always welcome when you find it this early.
Unfortunately, Bobino is not going to be able to grab that because it takes 4 to 6 hearts to be able to pick up the white sword item.
Yeah, and we can't be too sure how many it's going to take because Kingdahl already had 6 hearts when he came up to it, so it could be any of the 3. And it looks like it was a red Octorok that dropped the bomb, so we do have mixed drop shuffle.
Yep, that certainly was the case. Got another level sighted on Kingdahl's screen, but not able to pirouette that door, so heading north. And we find a Gleeok. We need a sword for that.
This is the one that's second quest level 3, I think.
Yep, Darkfalls confirms it. And if it is full second quest dungeons, then the question now becomes, are the meat blocks going to be required? Or do they get shuffled as well?
I think you're always going to have one in that second quest 3, but unfortunately they're not going to find out where it's at in that dungeon until after being able to get through that Gleeok.
So in terms of dungeons, it's 1, 2, 5, and 7 that we need in terms of a Triforce standpoint. However, that doesn't mean that items in the other 4 dungeons won't be the ones we need to clear the seed, if you get what I mean. And there's also a chance sword upgrades could have been replaced by 2-pack bomb upgrades.
And speaking of sword upgrades, we're now about 10 minutes in, and neither runner has been able to locate the wooden sword. So whoever finds that first is probably going to have a huge advantage early.
So for Kingdahl, there is a way to beat this Dodongo, but you have to feed it. You can't smoke it and stab it because you're missing the sword part of it. Oh no, Bobino gets run down by the Armos. And we got ourselves the E, which I believe is second quest, I want to say 1? Question mark? Yep, it is. I will admit second quest is not my strong suit, because the vast majority of my Zelda 1 playing time has been first quest.
Well, with these seeds, you're going to get pretty familiar with them because it seems like most of the races have some form of second quest element to them in the levels.
And Bobino does find the red candle. Kingdahl does find an Aqua Mentis, which can be dealt with without a sword, but you have to use bombs to do it, and there's a bomb upgrade on the ground. So I would believe that to be the white sword, so I think our sword upgrades got switched.
That's correct. Both runners are going to have to fare with just the wooden sword in this quest.
And it's worth noting that there is no there is no shuffle for the bomb upgrades, so you're not going to see a random bomb upgrade like that giving you like 4 or 6 bombs. That's just not going to happen.
That's right. The only way that's going to have a change is if they decide to purchase the bomb upgrades in the dungeons, which, with this being a boomstick seed, we likely won't see it, but we could.
Well, now we found where the actual power bracelet was on the ground in level 1, which, since it is a second quest level 1, means that those are our 2 items for this dungeon. Now the question is, where's the Triforce?
There it is.
Ask and you shall receive. Kingdahl getting the Triforce out of 1 at about 12:32.
And it looks like now that Kingdahl's out of level 1, he's going to finish clearing out the dead woods.
And it seems like all the things on the overworld are saying you better book it. I'm not sure if it's because it's mumbo jumbo or are they all saying the same thing. Kingdahl buying the bait at 100 rupees instead of looking around for the 60. And our restreamer is saying that the book is needed to understand what everybody's talking about, but I get the pun.
That's correct, and even if they do get the book, we don't know if it's going to be helpful hints, deceptive hints, or if it's just going to be your standard Zelda 1 like you would play vanilla.
Honestly, I would prefer all community hints to deceptive hints, to be honest with you. Because well, let's just say someone I know earlier had a deceptive hints in their seed. Speaking of,
Another option
can't afford the book at this point in time.
It'd be interesting to see if he heads over to buy it right now, which looks like he may be on his way.
That was the cheap shield that was on sale, by the way. That does mean that there is also a magical shield in the item pool to replace the book.
And it looks like Bobino's going to get the bad news of the Gleeok in the next room here, too.
Yeah, without any bombs, there's nothing he can do to even escape that room.
Yeah, for both runners right now, this level is a quick nope.
Yeah, in terms of levels, there have been a couple of quick nopes between that and the Wizrobe firing squad that you're forced into. That one's not just a quick nope, that is a quick automatic. Uh-oh. Nope.
That's one of those where you get out of there and hope you can get a blue or red ring before you go back in there.
Or based off the room design, a ladder would be an absolute godsend to have. As your dodge move, step over the water. And I did not see when Kingdahl got the letter, but that was attained, and a potion has been purchased for the vanilla 68 rupees.
And looks like we have the magical sword location, which is also a bomb upgrade, and that's on the south coast. And looks like Bobino forwent the book and went and bought arrows and likely buying some bombs.
I'm confused as to why Bobino bought arrows. Did they not check their start screen off the start?
I think that may have been a mental lapse.
And that's where the magical shield is, on the coast. Yeah, Force of Habit can definitely hit any runner of any randomizer, or any video game for that matter.
And when you're playing these random percent seeds like this, it's really, really hard to keep everything straight.
That's 5 hearts now for Bobino.
And we got our answer of the letter.
Yeah, it was in Candle Row.
Looks like, too, we're going to find out here momentarily if this is full first quest or not, with Kingdahl heading over to vanilla first quest, too. If it's a lake, that means we'll have a mixed overworld. If not, then we likely have a complete first quest overworld.
And that's a good thing, because there are a couple of caves that are exclusively second quest that require the ladder to get to, as well as a bomb. And that's a cave.
We actually have the book not in the rare shop, which is a very tough seed to come by. That doesn't happen very often in a boomstick seed.
Now, as we are starting to cover each other's tracks, I'm starting to get suspicious of Death Mountain. Our runners haven't gone there yet, and we're still missing a few key dungeons.
And we have most of the eastern overworld and southern overworld covered at this point, so Death Mountain is actually going to be pretty valuable. It's looking. And Kingdahl found the wooden sword. It's in this.
Yep, underneath the arm.
And Bobino is close by, so let's see if he gets it shortly.
Well, in Kingdahl's case, because their character is a hockey player, it's a hockey stick. That is a very fitting touch, I might add. Isn't that a character from like a NES ice hockey game?
That's correct. That is the more heavy-set player from ice hockey.
More heavy set, I'd say more or less maybe the defenseman or an enforcer. Anyway, we found level 9 and it's at the top of the Lost Hills.
That's actually a pretty good spot for it because they're not far from their starting location, with it being north of level 1.
Yeah, certainly can route to that pretty easily. But there are some variables with level 9 that we will get into later on. Kingdahl finds the max secret at First Quest's White Sword Cave, unfortunately leaving a few of the rupees behind, but can definitely afford, amongst other things, a ring or a book. And partially of the reason why the hexadecimal rupee limit seems a bit restraining at times.
Oh, the limitations of 8 bits.
Well, I hear you there.
And Kingdahl immediately went for the book. I think that's a really good play.
Yeah, when you know it's Boomstick, that's definitely worth going for because you know you have that bonus. Now you can understand what folks are saying too, which is apparent for this seed. And for all we know, and what we don't know yet, is the book and atlas. That is a question yet to be answered.
And on Kingdahl's side, I believe he found at least one of the hint shops. So if these are helpful hints, that can prove very useful for him. And the book is an atlas. He just found level 5.
Yep, level 5. It is the Z, or as they say in Canada, the Z. Even when it's a one-hit enemy, Blue Wiz robes are still unnerving. Put it that way.
Yeah, they can induce fear into anybody until you have a ring to absorb some of that extra damage it can deal out.
Oh, and level 5 is Goma blocked. We're not going anywhere here unless we find a bow. Unless this is a stair that goes past it. Buy
And
one
put some
room.
one-room.
Oh, one room's all you need, really.
It's progression.
And Bobino, not quick enough on those whiz robes, gets taken down. Meanwhile, Kingdahl facing off against a manhandler, which, well, it's worth noting that while the regular enemies might shuffle to 0 HP, the boss HP still the same. Oh, gets shot.
Just one more head left on that manhandler, and Bobino just found a heart container in the cellar.
Not bad. Brings him up to 7. Oh yeah, those red bubbles. Oh god, that's how you know it's second quest. You do not want to touch those no matter what, because they can do all sorts of shenanigans. While the plain bubbles will just take away your sword, those red bubbles can have some even nastier effects, including, but not limited to, inverted controls, a disabling of your sword on top of that, or you walk really, really slow. Basically about as slow as climbing a ladder from the overworld, but throughout the entirety of the game. So Link's not outrunning anyone or anything at that point. And I believe that was that a compass that was picked up?
It looks like it.
I do not care.
That means he may be in a dungeon that was already cleared initially.
Yep. I want to say this is level 4, possibly. And with it being second quest, that means walk-through walls are a thing. And
it also means 2 item staircases and a floor drop. So even already having the Triforce for this level, it could be very valuable to dig.
Oh shoot. Meanwhile, Kingdahl taking on a 3-headed Gleeok. I almost called it a 4. But it's a 3, using the potions, trying to take this thing down to get whatever it's holding on to.
And doing a great job of taking it out and dodging all those fireballs.
Helps to have potions. And I do believe that bubble curse just caused Kingdahl's controls to flip.
That sure is what it looked like.
Thankfully, there's a blue one in the room to fix it.
Yep, it looks like inverted controls.
And that blue dark nut takes down Bobino.
Thankfully for Bobino, this is 0 hit point on the enemies, because this dungeon would be nasty if it was not.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I didn't get a good look at that, admittedly.
Neither did I. Bobino doing a good job of dodging those bubbles in that bracket room. Almost got sandwiched there, but was able to squeeze through.
Speaking of getting sandwiched, it looks like you got sandwiched in between two blue dark nuts. There's the Triforce for Kingdahl. Which, even if you start with the Triforce for a dungeon, if you need a health pickup and or just want to get out of there, picking up the Triforce will do just the trick.
That's right, especially if you end up clearing all the items out of the dungeon and you're close by to the Triforce. Instead of doing an up A and starting with 3 hearts, you can start back in the overworld with full health.
Now, if only there were a way to remove these bubbles.
I don't know about other racers, but for me, the reversed controls with the red bubble curse is the worst. And it's not having it, it's when you get rid of it. It takes longer to get used to having normal controls again.
Nah, for me it's the reverse. When I get it is when I get thrown off. Ooh, nicely timed clock by Bobino. Gonna be able to clear this dark nut room out. And there's a bloomerang.
I don't know why he didn't take it.
Might not be a fan of the bananas or just doesn't like the scrap metal.
We may have to put him together with TG. Oh, never mind, he grabbed it.
Guess we put them together with Fury then?
Ooh, and Kingdahl getting the unfortunate news that beyond that Gleeok is a ladder block in level 3, so he's going to check out these 2 rooms on the L side.
Now Kingdahl getting a good clock. Rewards with a heart container, that's 11, so that'd be a 40% chance of getting Mags, but Mags has been replaced with a bomb upgrade. And that's another heart container, so we've already got everything we could ever ask for 3.
That's right, seeing as they started with the level 3 Triforce, they don't have to worry about getting through that ladder block and a potential meat block to get it.
And there's a Triforce on Bobino's side, gonna do a Rixit.
Ooh, Bobino taking a death, unfortunately. Reverse controls kind of froze him in his path. But the only nice thing about having any of the red bubble curses is not having to worry about dodging.
So it looks like you have to push the block in this room in order to open the shutter.
And Bobino and Kingdahl both using the same strategy in the spiral staircase room of waiting in the corner and spamming that A button, waiting for the dark nut to come by. I like that technique.
Unfortunately, the dark nut just absolutely runs over Bobino, no place to go.
I think that was in the same room as he died in last time, so looks like he's gonna save to get rid of that curse and continue exploring. And looks like Bobino's heading up, and he's gonna get the news of level 9. And I think he's going in there just to double check, make sure he needs the whole Triforce.
Yep, and the old man is asking, can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? I find that funny because old man's not going anywhere.
Kingdahl making sure to burn that for good effect.
The bloomerang on fire!
It's hard to burn metal.
Even though it's hard to burn metal, it is satisfying to light scrap metal on fire, to just do it on, let it rip on the scrap metal, to see it light. To take a line out of NBA Jam and paraphrase it, it's on fire!
Unfortunately, I won't even try to do those imitations. I'm a little too monotone for that.
Bobino getting the book.
And I think I'll be happy to know that it's an... And the bubbles are not wanting to cooperate, trying to get to that blue bubble.
Yeah, bubbles in a reverse C room can be all kinds of nasty. Honestly thought Kingdahl was gonna consider doing an up and A. Uh-oh. That's a Goma room with Beamos. That looks like it's gonna get nasty.
That's never a good room to fight in. Hopefully, nothing important in there, though. We have another nasty room for the bubbles, but fortunately there is a blue bubble in this room.
Seafood. I am losing track of where Kingdahl is on the bubble curse.
I think he got rid of it just before going into that staircase.
Yeah, I lost track of it for a moment because two of the bubbles were on top of each other. Okay, game, I see you've got a weird sense of humor with where those transport staircases are going. And a second Goma.
And this one may be blocking something important, such as the item.
Bobino teeing off on a Goliath. Kingdahl getting some bombs reloaded.
Unfortunately for Bobino, he's going to find this ladder block, and right after that, he is going to be key blocked.
Yep, so no matter how you spin it, Bobino's not going to be able to do anything this dungeon. I did not see what was picked up on Kingdahl's side, but I believe it was a key.
And looks like Bobino is right now taking a moment to consider his options, which I don't blame him. Feels like everything he's been trying in this seed has just not gone his way.
Kingdahl's still looking to see if there's another item back here. And that's it. And I'm starting to think one of those Gomas might be holding it.
Yep, he only has a couple more rooms to be able to check, and this may potentially be an item here, though.
Looks promising.
It's a heart.
So with that, Kingdahl just did an up A to get back to the start of the dungeon. Gonna grab the Triforce and get on out of here. Level 7 wasn't just a Love Shack, it was a Love Shack spiral.
I think it was a love to hate shack.
Oh yeah, can confirm.
That's something I always hate to see when a player digs the entire level to find the items and they end up with heart containers. And with a level this big and nasty with the staircases, it makes it even worse.
Blue and red bubble on top of each other again. So it's hard to tell which one takes priority when they both hit like that. So now Kingdahl has to clear this room to set up, get the Triforce, and then at this point, no more Rick 6. It's just grab it and go!
And with that, Kingdahl has a large advantage on the Triforces, having 3 more than Bobino at this point. However, Bobino is in 1, so this should be a quick Triforce for him and help put him back into the game.
Bobino's gonna check the last room. It's just Garia's. One interesting note about Garias in this game is that if you do pick up the blue boomerang, their boomerangs also turn blue. But they don't fly farther, they don't fly faster, it's just a cosmetic change. And Spectacle Rock had a medium secret of 30. And we found the Blue Ring and Cheap Bait Shop. That would, if I had to wager a guess, would be the rare shop.
That's what it looks like, and Kingdahl saying, nope, can't afford that blue ring, and I don't think he needs it right now having 12 hearts. If he can get his life filled up, it'll be good. And
Not checking the hints, thinking they might be a little too expensive, which is possible.
However, with that being so close to start, that would be a good opportunity to save and retry.
So,
Kingdahl's in level 2.
Yep, that's level 2. Last level that Kingdahl needs. Probably going to dig both items out of here, as well as the Triforce. And with the Triforce from here, there's the Any key. That'll help for what could be his next destination in level 9. And a couple Rage Slashes at a standard key that's in the way. After you get the Any key, ooh, there's the Recorder. That could be something needed. But if anything, it is something very useful because Dig Doggers hate certain kinds of sound.
And I think that is probably the quickest I've seen 2 items in a level, too. So this is going to be find that Triforce as quickly as possible and try to get to 9.
Now, the only thing I've seen faster than that would be 2 quick items that are on the ground, followed by the Triforce in the next room. Now, that didn't quite happen here, but it has happened before.
I have a feeling that because the items were so easy to find, this may be a tricky one to find the Triforce in.
Just might be, as Kingdahl's checking the top of the 8. It's a Gibdo room. No dice here, just rupee. It's a 3-headed Gleeok. And no way to bomb out of it, so those stairs are the only other exit from this room.
And Kingdahl not wanting to take a chance on that, only having 3 hearts right now.
Understandably so, and that pays off huge as that staircase goes right to the Triforce room with 8 Triforce pieces. Kingdahl can now go back to the Lost Hills and enter level 9. It's a second quest 9, and here's what we know. We do not know if Ganon's required, so what could happen is, in that instance, is Zelda can quite literally be in any room nearby. If Ganon's required, you'll have a room with a single shutter door that stays shut when the room is clear of enemies. At least that would be the tell that Ganon would be required. And with that makes the flute find unfortunate with Recorder going to unbeaten dungeons. Perhaps that can be Fred can adjust that to where it can go to beaten dungeons once you have 8 Triforces. Ah well, maybe it's just wishful thinking. But in the event of a required Ganon, you'd be after a roar, and you'd have to remember the door.
And it looks like Kingdahl's going all in for level 9, refilling that blue potion that he had. That way, now he has a red potion, which will give him 2 uses, and quickly being able to clip right over to level 9.
Here we are. Now, this being a second quest 9, there are also push-through walls. Hopefully none of them are one-way, because that would be annoying.
And the one thing with second quest 9 is that there will be a lot of the push-through walls.
But not nearly as many as staircases. Here's one now. There is one flag we do not know yet, and I did not want to mention this until now. There is a chance that the red ring and silver arrows were forced into level 9.
That's correct, and with everything that has been found so far, it is a good possibility right now. And it
There's
looks
the
like that is the
silver.
case.
Just as Dark Falls brings up that it is possible an important item could be here, we have not seen the ladder. We have not seen the bow. Both of those could be here if that flag is active, but we also don't know where Zelda's room is. Oh, that's a shoot room, but that might be the best bet for in terms of avoiding red bubbles, because now they can't get you. Oh, hi, Patra.
And that shoot room was something you don't see too often. It was a one-way shoot room.
Nice choice to use a bomb to help get rid of the whiz robe. It's also worth noting that the rooms that are eyes in both first and second quest 9 do not light up on the map. Oh, and meanwhile, we found Ganon 1 square to our left of Ganon's right eye. And Kingdahl is bailing out, seeking out the bow, thinking Ganon might be required.
That's right, I didn't see any indication that he found the princess. I didn't notice any shutter doors that didn't open, so this is a curious play.
No doubt about it. Kingdahl doing some exploring, going back into level 4. If the bow's here, Kingdahl's in go mode. Nothing yet. And again, that was only one room. Block's not moving. Next room.
And we have Bobino currently in level 5. Just found the Triforce, but continuing to dig, hoping to find an important item in here. I think he's going to be disappointed to find it's just going to be a couple hearts, though. To answer Dark Falls in chat, I'm not sure that it's 2 hearts, but I believe it was.
It is kind of hard to walk through walls and keep getting hit by everything in the room. Just saying.
That looks like me anytime I try to walk through a wall. And we have Bobino taking that Triforce out of 5 and continuing on. This may be a good opportunity for him to be able to catch up. So we're going to see how long it takes Kingdahl to dig out that bow and if it is in fact necessary.
There's a staircase, but is it transport? It's not. It's an item, and it is one of 2 such staircases in Second Quest 4. This one's a heart container, bringing the total up to 13.
We have Kingdahl making good progress through level 4. Pretty efficient and, finding a mugger room, but at the same time, he's been able to clear quite a bit in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and it's a mugger room that's also not required, however, in a spot where you can't go up, as those mugger rooms, you have to clear the mugger out to even have a chance at that.
Doing a good job of fire boosting through that reverse sea room with those red bubbles. Unfortunately, it wasn't the item staircase, but this could bring him to another part of the dungeon where he hasn't been yet.
Or
unfortunately,
one
right
way
at the
that
beginning.
puts him in a vertical shoot room. Yes, that is a thing that can happen, but only in Second Quest dungeons.
And Babino is now in level 2, and he's gonna find that any key, which just grabbed. That is probably a huge sigh of relief for him right now.
Yeah, you don't want to skip the food stair for too long. I believe it's this room. Quick clear out. Quick push. No, it didn't move. Never mind me.
And I think all the NSU rooms in this seed ended up in level 4.
And there's a heart container, so there's the floor item. That's just one item to go for floor 4. Okay, chat. What item are we finding here? Are we finding the wand? Are we finding the ladder? Are we finding the bow? Or are we finding something else?
I'm going with banana.
File that one under something else as Kingdahl takes down a manhandler. Nothing to show for it, though, other than a cleared room. So it was a double walk-through wall to get to this old man, and he's taking the... Oh, that's dirty. To walk through, you... Oh, my goodness. The old man was blocking a Chevy room.
That
That's
is a hit in the gut
disgusting.
right there. Well, the good part on Kingdahl's side is he had plenty of hearts to give up, so I don't think he gave it too much thought there.
Well, that may or may not be true, as we get a hit that says Goma creeps to the wand. Take that with a grain of salt at this point, because we don't know if that hint is true or not, because of the potential of deceptive hints. Meanwhile, Bobino only needs the Triforce out of 7 to be able to enter 9. I believe Kingdahl is looking for a solution here.
And Bobino has yet to try it, but the flute may bring him right to level 7, so we'll see if it takes him a while to use that. Ooh, and just got sniped by that blue Lionel.
Well, it's not a Zelda 1 rando seed without a Lionel sniping.
There we go, and it takes him right to level 7, so right now is going to be crucial for Bobino on how quickly he can get that Triforce and get out of there. It looks like he was in the room earlier, but did not clear it. And we have Dark Falls in chat saying that he saw it but ended up dying.
Oh, that's quite unfortunate.
Now, for Bobino's sake, he has seen level 9, so going through, looks like he's going to dig 6 a little bit, though. With Dark Falls making a good point in chat, Bobino might think he needs level 8, not level 7. This could be a huge, costly mistake for him.
Another walk-through wall. That leads to a bomb upgrade, which Kingdahl does pick up, considering that they were down to 1 bomb. Not a bad play at all, especially without having found the wand. Kingdahl doesn't up a save. Let's see. Looking to screen wrap, because
Now, unfortunately, it looks like the second item may have been blocked in for by Goma. But if that's the case, that means it is not the bow. And Kingdahl immediately finding level 8 over by the grave. So this right here could be big, it could be completely fruitless. Hard to say.
looks like that last Moldorm segment was trolling him.
And having a little bit of trouble with the block clip, but then ends up getting through and finds the bow right inside of level 8. So now
Yep,
he is in go.
Yep, that is a 10405 go mode. All that's left for Kingdahl to do is to go into level 9, kill Ganon, save the princess.
And he is ready for making some bacon. Let's see if the princess is playing hide and seek, though.
Unless we missed it, then possibly we've already seen it.
That is a
Kingdahl taking a
possibility.
drink. And the potion shop folks want to show off their Pokemon.
And it looks like Bobino will be closing in on that bow in level 8 shortly. Unless Kingdahl has a knowledge of where the princess is, this may be big.
That's a transport staircase for Kingdahl. It's got him in the right ballpark to get to Ganon's room. Not a walk-through wall, but it does bomb. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon. It might take 0 or 16 hits. It's a 0 hit Ganon. We got bacon. Yet he goes to the right.
Well, this ended up being
because
quick.
that's a single shutter door. The pig was required. Get your GGs in chat for Kingdahl, who takes game 1. Official SRL time 106.25.
GG's to Kingdahl. And with perfect timing, my electricity just went out at home, so had to hurry up and switch over. But looks like Bobino is force quitting.
Yep, Bobino has called it a night. So this race is a final. We're just waiting on both to join us for an interview.
And while we're waiting on the runners to join us, make sure everybody watching to give both of these runners a follow. They put on a great show for us tonight. And also, we have Dark Falls, who was our tracker. He's another great person to follow.
Absolutely. So while we got a moment, let's go over what we got on tap for tomorrow. As we've got 3 races on the docket present. The first race, 5 p.m. Eastern, has TA 909 against my COCOM Sausage Link on. Hold that thought, because we are now joined by our 2 runners. GG, guys.
I lost all my sound, so give me 1 second.
No worries.
Hello. Can you hear me?
And yep, I hear you. GG's to both Bobino and Kingdahl. First, we'll start with you, Kingdahl. Take us through that seed And what were your thoughts as you were going through all that?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the Triforces I need, and then I find kind of the right levels, but the wrong items. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah, speaking of items, we never found the ladder, and honestly, it wasn't required. Based off the Triforces we got, ladder was an afterthought.
Yeah, you always want the ladder, but you're not gonna go looking for it, especially not in like 8 and the 6 I never found. I think I got all the other items. If we assume that the red ring was in 9. I'm not gonna go into 8, but speaking about 8, that 8 was the best 8 ever. Like one room.
Yeah, one room, bow, gone. That's basically what it was at the end. You found 8 first, you got the bow out of there, and you were gone because you already knew that you had to beat Ganon. You already knew where he was. You knew the route. You just had to finish it.
Hey, I think I can hear you now.
All right.
My sound card literally crashed as soon as I did dot quit.
Oh.
Oh, that was a fun seed. I hadn't gotten a 1 HP or 0 HP on any of my test ones, so I forgot it was an option. So when that first Lionel died to the candle, I was like, what?
I think
That's
I was
always
also
nice.
shocked on this end too, because that's also the first time I've seen a 0 HP seed roll.
But that was fun. I had just found 8 when you finished. Like I was grabbing the bow as you done. So it took me a while to kind of find stuff.
Did you know about the 9 and what it held?
I found 9, but I couldn't get into it.
I was in there. I found everything. I took the right stair. I landed right at Ganon, and then Zelda was right next to it.
Oh man.
Okay. And then it didn't open. So oh no. And I hadn't found 6 nor 8, so I got lucky with 8 also, because that was the first spot I checked the grave bomb thing. So, and then one room in bow, and then I'm thinking, okay, I know this. Now it's just how far along are you?
Yeah, I think what got Bobino was a number of deaths that were taken, because the deaths do tend to add up in this game, that's for sure.
I'm pretty sure Red Wizrobes did about 20 damage too, because I feel like I was at 6 hearts when I got one shot by that one.
Also, one thing we are curious about here is, how come you did not go for the Triforce in 7?
I might have it marked wrong, but I thought we started with the 7 Triforce.
It would have been 7 if it was first quest, but with it being second quest, that was the Triforce for 8.
Ah, see, and that's what got me is I was, even after I got the bow, I would have been digging 8 because I thought I needed 8's Triforce, so I was using the wrong Triforce chart.
Okay, we were curious about that. If you were just item hunting and avoiding that 7 until the last minute, or if you thought you needed 8.
Yeah, I thought I needed 8. I had the wrong one. I'll get some tips from some of the people about how to tell which Triforce chart I should be using, because I have mine up on stream, and I checked 7 off as soon as the game began, so I've had the wrong one the whole time.
And you also had the wrong for level 2 and 3, I guess, because it was you needed the level 2, but if you went by the first vanilla, it was 3.
Yeah, I definitely I dug like half of 2, took a death, and then I'm like, you know what? I already have 2's Triforce. I'm just gonna gamble that the item's not in here, and kept going. So that would have got me anyway.
Because it was all the wrong Triforces if you had the wrong thing up. So
yep, totally wrong Triforce map. Oh well, I'll learn that for the next round, for the next match.
Speaking of the next match, figure it's worth asking. What could we see changed for that? Because I believe there is a change that can be made.
Oh, do I get to make a change? I didn't.
Or am I thinking of the wrong thing?
No, you're correct, Leslie. You get to choose one of several options to turn either completely on or completely off as a loser's remorse flag for your next match.
Oh, that's awesome. I will take a look. I don't know offhand because I thought that didn't happen until like later rounds, so I didn't even consider it. Not 100% sure yet, so sorry, can't give you any heads up.
Remove the inverted controls on the bubbles because they suck.
I kind of dig that better than losing my sword though, because as soon as I noticed I was inverted, I kind of picked it up really quick. Like one of the times where I just couldn't find the blue bubble, I almost just kept going inverted.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it was a lot of dark nuts, so that would have been a problem swordless.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
Yeah. So, what does everyone think about my my stick movement during the game?
Well, honestly, as a hockey fan, I definitely appreciated a sprite from Nest Hockey and the wood sword being a hockey stick.
Oh, you got hockey sprites. I got to check that out later. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just asking this guy came around. I told he was going to do a hack, and it turned out he was Swedish. So I asked him if he would do some ice hockey sprites for me, and I didn't think he would do it. But then, like 2 days later, he said, "Happy birthday, Santa."
That's awesome. I'm definitely going to be watching this back later, so I'll check that out. That's awesome.
That's a great gift to get. He did an excellent job making it look like the ice hockey sprites, and I enjoyed seeing the hockey stick as the wood sword.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the white sword and I mean the white stick and the magic stick, but hopefully in some later races those will show up.
Yes, I was fortunate enough that you sent me the pictures of it so I could distinguish in the stream, and I really like the looks.
Yeah, it's awesome. His name is Ness Draug. You know, I'm gonna shout him out because that was amazing. He did something for like a stranger. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Hopefully he's watching tonight too.
Well, it's this race started at 3:30 a.m. in Sweden, so probably not. But I'm gonna send in the VOD.
And I'll be talking to you soon to figure out a good time for you for the next game. I need to head out though. Thank you so much. It was a fun seed. Congrats, Kingdahl, and I'll see you soon for the next game.
Yeah, GG. Well, it was a fun seed. The one who's gonna find the bow first was gonna win. I thought because that's the sort of seeds that these are. That if you go the right way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost completely forgot. Thank you to the commentators and trackers and everyone running it too. I almost left without saying thank you. I appreciate you guys being here.
Much appreciated, Bobino, and thank you for putting on a great show tonight.
Yep, you guys put on an outstanding show. It was our pleasure. Be sure to follow our runners, as they're definitely the stars of the show here. Without them, we'd just be talking about random stuff here. So yeah.
I thought that was what you were doing. Random stuff.
So I guess with that, it's about time for us to wrap things up. Final thoughts, Sausage Land.
Nothing much really. Just glad to be able to commentate with you, and it was a pleasure. And again, everybody watching, make sure to give our runners a like and a follow because they do an excellent job of putting on a show for us.
Absolutely, and don't forget to follow the Randomania family of channels 1 through 4 for all your randomizer action. So that being said, for my co-com Sausage Link, our tracker Dark Falls, our restreamers CD Improv, and our runners and everybody else behind the scenes at Randomania. Leslie Pro, watch out for Lionels. Stay safe. Stay warm. One day at a time. Take care. Have a good night. We'll see you next race.